Good afternoon to all of you. So this day really makes us really nervous, but it is all topped with confidence, preparedness, and some excitement. So, by the way, I'm Aliana Cordel, the leader of Group 5 Ecosystem. And I may wear a snake headdress, but I don't just bite people because I'm hungry. I bite them because I'm threatened, just as you know.
Sure the day is. And with this awesome setup, Group 5 is surely behind this. Oh, by the way, I'm Julia Nichols and Terrapina, the secretary. These flowers are lovely, but wait until you see the milky sap of this, which is poisonous and can also irritate the skin.
Quack quack. Excuse me everyone, but I think I belong to the ecosystem group. I'm Charles Justin Enterook, member number 1. I am a duck that has feathers that are waterproof because of natural wax.
Hi! I'm Carlos Guerra, member number 2 of Ecosystem. My round headdress is not claustrophobic or aquaphobic. It just don't like tight spaces and walking through water. It likes to be free.
Can you smell the fragrance of lavender? Of course not, because this is just made of paper. But I assure you, it has a calming smell. After you get that, member number 5. I copy you and I can amaze you with my skills. But there's a record that I can weigh as much as Kat. Christina Pascual, member number 4.
And
We are the Group 5 Ecosystem. So before we start our first activity, we're going to have a little game that is connected, of course, to the ecosystem. So our game is like a hep hep hooray, but you're going to say aqua or terrestrial instead of hep hep and hooray. So we would like to call out 3 representatives of each group, and but wait, Carlo and CJ are going to show you how it is played. Okay, so wait, we're going to say it an animal and I'm going to indicate. So, frog,
aquatic.
cow,
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial.
dog,
Terrestrial.
frog,
Boat.
eagle,
Terrestrial. Aerial.
It's simple, right? So this game must do by three members each group, and the winner will receive a food with a fact about an ecosystem. Good morning. Good afternoon. What group do you belong? What about you?
temperature, gas,
Bowling.
Are you ready?
Aquatic. Terrestrial.
Aquatic, terrestrial, and if it's both. Let's try it first if you get the mechanics of the game. Cow.
Terrestrial.
Crab.
Aquatic.
Shrimp.
Aquatic.
Worm.
Terrestrial.
Cow. Snake.
bus, okay, bus is
Lion. Wait. Panther, okay. Because if you don't say the correct ecosystem of an animal, it is wrong. Wait.
Aquatic.
Shrimp.
Aquatic.
Cow. Pig.
Terrestrial.
Sheep. Cockroach. Terrestrial. Design. Terrestrial. Cat. Terrestrial. Dog. Terrestrial. Fish. Aquatic. No, bee. Terrestrial. Octopus. Aquatic. Duck. Shark. Aquatic. Terrestrial. Carabao. Terrestrial. Crocodile. Crocodile. Boat. Terrestrial. Ant. Terrestrial. Worm. Terrestrial. Terrestrial. Boat. Boat yun. Wait, iba. Check-in. Aquatic. Sea lion. Aquatic. Yes. Ano yan? River tooth. Okay, the winner is...
Group temperature.
Okay, group temperature. Chef Abigo.
Read the facts
Desert. The desert is a very dry ecosystem, getting very little rainfall in a year.
Desert. Plants and animals that survive in the desert have special adaptations that allow them to live in the harsh climate.
You can go sit in your proper place.
Rainforest. Fertile leads to burning the land to increase topsoil nutrients.
Thank you.
Ecosystems. Each component of ecosystem is a source of food for another.
Thank you.
Forest. Tropical rainforests grow in places like Hawaii and Costa Rica.
Thank you.
Desert. Some of the plants and animals that enjoy the desert ecosystem are the camel, elephant, jackrabbit, and the cactus.
Oceans ecosystem are the largest ecosystem on Earth.
Thank you.
So let's proceed to the first activity. So it is entitled, Where Does This Animal Go? So an ecosystem is in an ecosystem, different organisms interact with one another. So we all know that they are interdependent with each other. And whereas this ecosystem is divided into biomes, which help each other to survive, and the environment for them is suited. So in this activity, different biomes and are presented in different different animals are going to be sorted accordingly. So the objectives are
Our objectives to be sort the animals according to their biomes using their initial knowledge of habitats. To know what will happen if an animal does not suit to its habitat and biome.
the materials are listed.
Materials are 8 kinds of pictures of biomes. Or we only use 5 pictures of biomes.
Correction, it is only 5 pictures of biomes.
Animals and a tail and one whole illustration board. But we replace the one whole illustration board with a cardboard.
So these are the names of the animals.
Procedures. First step, tape the 5 biomes in a straight line on an illustration board or cardboard. So while we're preparing this, please choose two representatives in each group for our demonstration. Two only.
Where's the first group? So we're going to give you the first group with three names of animals to stick to the cardboard and sort the names accordingly. Please stick them to their appropriate position.
There are the tapes.
The next group,
Alam mo paano mag-edit si Julian.
So biome is a place where there are different kinds of habitats. So in this case, aquatic, both aquatic, terrestrial, and the rest terrestrial.
aquatic and freshwater, this is where the fishes live, but there are certain fishes that live in these two, where in the saltwater biome, the dolphins, the seahorses live, or starfish lives, and in the freshwater, this is where the ducks, the maybe a goldfish lives. And going to explain the biomes, and then we're going to rearrange them according to our explanation. And in the desert, where it is very dry and a little amount of water is precipitated on that ecosystem, I mean biome. This is where some snakes live, and kangaroos, camels, like that. Grassland. BCJ explain the grassland.
Grassland is where the herbivore animals live, and they eat plants there, and as you can see there is so many grass that a herbivore actually lives.
So in tundra biome, it's basically full of snow, and only animals with thick fur can live there because of the low temperature it has. So example of that is a polar bear. So the correct arrangement of the animals is in tundra is polar bear and Arctic fox.
Wolf is wrong.
Wolf is wrong. Some
Most animals living in a low temperature area often have thick fur.
so fox is wolf is not definitely there in tundra. So in grassland is African buffalo and gray owl.
They all is wrong.
So
Desert, the animals should be kangaroo and cheetah. And camel, of course.
the camel is also correct. Yes. So in salt water, it is correct. It has dolphins and starfish. In fresh water, it should be alligator and hippopotamus. So in the forest is the gray and the wood. So that is the correct arrangement of the animals in their biome. So let's proceed to the questions.
So another thing, we didn't really choose to show you a simulation because it will really consume a lot of time. So that's the reason why. Let's proceed to the questions.
What is the importance of these biomes? Biomes are living space of life. They describe communities located across different regions across the world. Looking at the interaction between climate factors, living organisms, and substrates found in the environment. Generally, a biome refers to a community of similar organisms that are found in a particular climate zone. So,
Question number 2. What will happen if animals are not in their natural biomes? Animals will suffer because they are not in their natural biomes and or habitat, unless like suburban animals like dogs and cats. Also, if animals are not in their natural biomes, the ecosystem would be imbalanced. Best example here, I think, is the fish. If fish are not in their natural biomes, of course the fish will die because fish lives in the water, and if you remove them in the water, you put them in the terrestrial biomes, they would die.
Number 3 is why some animals can survive in a different environment they're not really used to. So, some animals survive on different environment except their own because of their adaptation skills that help them to survive. So, example of this is a camel. So, they have adaptation skills that their humps on their back stores water, and of course they live in a desert and the temperature there is very hot. So their knees to when they lay down the sand are really thick and can withstand really high temperature. So just like us humans, it may take us a while to adapt, but eventually when we have found our resources, we can survive even in a different environment. But of course, if organisms are placed in an environment which is not suited to the structure and the function of their bodies, it cannot live there even their needs are present. So just like Carla said earlier, if you put a fish in a terrestrial biome, it can die even though there's food that they can eat and animals that can eat them also.
How do organisms are adapted to their environment? Living organisms are adapted to the environment, so this means the way they look, the way they have, how they are built, or their way of life makes them suited to the environment. So, features or behavior of the animals can lead to their successful life.
So, conclusion is, in this activity, we're able to sort the animals even with just a little knowledge about biomes. So, in the first part of our activity, where the representatives of each group place or sort the animals into their biomes, they have used their initial knowledge about biomes or about ecosystem, about where they live. So when we explain, or after several explanations, we have further understand biomes and connections to some ideas to it. So in a biome, connected ideas means there are processes that happens in a biome where they use it to live in order to survive. For example, it's the exchange of gases in a biome, and in a biome. We also learned that an animal is designated to a certain biome because it is where it could survive. Although the things can affect their adaptation, like predation or competition of their own food. Because organisms are placed equally throughout the world in their own biome so that ecosystem is balanced and there's no rivalry of resources or needs. So let's proceed to the second activity.
So before we start our another demonstration or activity, we prepared a mini game for you to be able to enjoy this demonstration as well. So in our next activity, we will learn more about food chain. So expect the game will be about that.
So we need 10 people overall, so you can decide whether which group will collaborate. So 2 groups, 5 members. So we're going to give you a balloon, and inside the balloon is a name of an animal. You're going to make a food chain out of these animals, and you're going to make the food chain in the first try only. The prices will to be followed. So, get the balloon. Please. Move to the side and so you're going to pop the balloon there on the chair, and only one by you're going to farm the food chain.
No,
I'm going to pop them in one at a time.
Is this family handa?
No. It's go. Yeah. But yeah. You're going to make a food chain and going to make it in the basket.
so we're running out of time. So, sino mauna sa mga kauna sa Milano? So, paunahan kayo.
The first group will be playing first and then the second group will visit.
Be careful na kung
Be careful in running or just don't run.
Paano to? Paano kunan to?
One, ready, set, go!
Bakit na kayo?
Please start. If you have finished popping the balloon, please start. Please start Okay. Straight line only. One person, one for every one side. Please double tap. Stay quiet. Once they have four, you're going to shout You're going to form a straight line. Okay, this group won.
Sabi ni Miles, alligator.
Component of an ecosystem is a source of food for a rabbit. Dolphins live with only half their brain. When they are asleep, one part of their brain contains alert chemicals. This keeps them safe from the potential predators and enables them to breathe wisely.
Rainforest. Burning trees releases carbon into the atmosphere which exacerbates the greenhouse effect and increases temperature.
Thank you for joining.
So in this demonstration, we will be able to learn, or we will learn about the transferring of energy into each other happening in food chain. So let's start first with the objective.
objective.
Teka nga lang.
Objective, to be able to understand a food chain.
Materials?
Materials needed are cardboard, ruler, scissors, tape, pencil, picture of 4 animals with a producer.
Procedures.
Measure 2 inch by 2.5 into a cardboard. Connect the measures and cut it.
So we have pre-cut. We have pre-cut a cardboard so that it that's a lot of time. And
Tape the ends of the two by the side. You will now have a small roll of our cardboard. Do the same procedure with the measure increasing by 1 inch until you have 5 of them.
we have. So this is our pre-made for this activity because it would take a lot of time to do this one by one. So they have different sizes. This is the grass.
The grasshopper, the bluebird, the snake, and the owl. The grasshopper,
So this is how we demonstrate a food chain, a simple food chain. This grass is the producer.
and the grasshopper, which is the first consumer, it's the grass, and it is a herbivore.
Then the bluebird, it's the grasshopper.
And the snake, it's the bluebird.
Lastly, the owls owl will eat the snake.
So that's it. It's simple, but then we can learn a lot from it, especially the questions. So let's start with the. So now let's proceed with the questions.
You can try it.
CJ.
So in additional, we showed you a simple food chain, and by that way you can materialize how a food chain works by simply doing that.
If one roll or animal is removed, will it affect the food chain? The food chain depends on the delicate balance of nature. When one organism is removed, the delicate balance can be affected in a number of ways. For example, the prey and predator relationship. If the predator is removed, it will cause the overpopulation of prey that affect the balance of our nature.
Second question.
So, is energy can also be passed in a food chain? This is a very nice question. So, energy is transferred along food chains from one stage to the next. So we all know that we need food in order to survive, and we get energy and nutrients from the food that we are eating. Same with the animals. So the question is, if one in food chain, does the energy increases or it decreases? So in fact, the energy decreases. Why? Because energy is lost in waste materials. So that's it. Next
Third
question.
is, what is the importance of food chain in the ecosystem? It is important to us to understand how the food chain works. So we know what are the important living organisms that makes up the food chain. When animals eat the plants, food energy and organic compounds are transferred from plants to the animals in order to survive.
Conclusion. So, our objective is to be able to understand the food chain. So, in this demonstration, it's just pretty simple, but then you can see how the process works. Food web is also related in this demonstration, but then we focus more about food chain. In food web, It's also a process wherein there's a transferring of energy into one organism, but then it's more likely a process wherein the cycle of consuming organisms is being repeated.
So that is the end of our demonstration.
We hope
And
that you learned something.
we hope, yeah, enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed everything about it. So thank you.